I think I just saw +10. Not sure if that was a minion or from Hansama. Caps sees his old teammate. Quick wave.
Yeah, make you want to say hi.
It's high. Let's get it. You know,
we have a gank.
We have a gank. Top side. Wonder. Very quickly running away from the Scorpion, but a flash in from Skewmon. Definitely nice. The axe to come through the undertow. Wonder nowhere to go. First blood for G2. You said action on the top side. We're seeing it now, and now Skeens is going to try to 2v1. That was not good, my guy.
Broken Blade thought he had the damage to take down Skeens, so Skeens just barely gets out. I think Skeens didn't think they quite were able to take him down, so he has to waste his flash. But I was surprised as well that Skewmon was able to find that angle. It looked like, so I don't think they can convert it into much. Since Six can just clear under tower, Skewmon's in the top side, so not going to be any jungle pressure.
Good. Flick back onto Labrov, solid, gets him low, but they don't really have the follow-up. No HP there. Yappa's still so far away from level 6, or it might have been a Mega Inferno Bomb angle.
Hansama had more mana here. I think they could look for a dive and trade 1-for-1. They might still look for it.
And this is a bit of a toughie.
I mean, Labrov is going to die if they go for it, but if they can kill Yoppa, it's worth.
Taunt through, doesn't quite get the flash. Knockback is there. Labrov is going to die, but oh, so is Mickey. Hansama
got the mana
debating.
from Prison's Mind. Oh, doesn't go for it.
Through.
He was thinking about it, but I think he needed 4 auto attacks to kill Yoppa. It's 3 or 4. If he could kill him in 2, then he could just do auto attack W, insta reset, right? And then flash out, but decided not to go for it. Ends up being a 1-for-1. And Yoppa had to base before Hansama crashed the wave, so that does mean that Yoppa is going to lose out on a minion wave. But now Skewmon is behind Wonder. Wonder still no flash.
Sure. To the skies. Remember, blow back. Trying to buy time for the rest of his team to get there. Keep your eyes on that mini-map. Jungle support on the way. Mickey and Skeem trying to come in, as is Labrov. Full 3v3, but SK behind the play thus far. Wonder going to die before the play even starts. Now Skeens and Mickey, just spectators to their top laner's demise. And this is going from uncomfortable to bad quite quickly, Jack.
I feel like Wonder could have... We're not going to fight on bot? No.
Skeens. Play here. Yoppa flanking. Hansama has pressed R. He's using it to escape. Ulti's traded. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a wall has been leveraged. Caps cannot get around it, but the gravity field is good too. Skeens ward hopping forward. Sonic Wave connects. Caps still getting the Scuttle Crab movement speed, trying to get tricky with it. Mickey moving into cover to make sure Skeens can get this kill. No way for Labrov to contest. And that Skeens getting one back.
Really nice gank from Skeens there. Caps flashed the initial Q from Skeens, but wasn't able to get out. Skewmon could look for a dive on top. I think they should have the damage. Wonder does have flash though. If he's able to flash like a crucial CC and buy time, well, he already cleared most of the wave.
Oh, axe missing is big. Getting a chunk on Broken Blade as well.
Really good defensive moves there from Wonder. Denies any sense of a dive. If he wasn't able to clear the wave and the wave got under tower.
So still not a bad deal for the G2 top laner.
Yeah, Broken Blade happy about that. He was thinking about flashing in to try to make the kill happen, but I think it would have been a 1-for-1, and he doesn't want to burn his flash just for that. Well, all of SK's support and jungle are here, help cover for Wonder. Skewmon's in the area though, so should dissuade any sort of dive possibility for SK. Broken Blade needs to be careful, he dies very fast here.
He does. The Q lands from Skeens. Broken Blade is a dead man. Even the Skarner can't get here in time. Nice conversion coming in from Broken Blade. Body block there. Wonder going to finish it with a thundering blow. But the Heartsteel is there for Skewmon to make sure he gets one in return. Slow Q has TP'd, matched by Hansama now. Complete fist fight on the top side. Big. Now Wonder is here, but it's going to be a bit late to the play. And suddenly they're going to find Broken Blade right in their backline if they don't do anything else. Mickey forced to flash over the wall and escape. Very positive trade for G2. And the beefy frontliners that you mentioned in draft, Jack, are doing their job. Partially because Wonder doesn't do a ton of damage yet, but also Hansama didn't get hit by that Chalk Blast, so I'd say mission accomplished.
Yoppa needs to be careful.
Lock up. Hansama, good damage to come through. Nice satchel to try and escape. Both Yoppa and Hansama really low, but on the hunt and the heal. More than enough movement speed. Good burst damage coming through, but that flash not doing much of anything as the stand united ensures that there's no follow-up angle for Skeens. And Skewmon in the meantime gets the Drake. So really everything going in favor of G2 on that play.
Yeah, Labrov might have gotten an assist, but that was a solo kill from Broken Blade. Just runs down Wonder. Broken Blade, Skeens got spotted there by Labrov basing, so he's going to be fine. But some nice proactive plays across the board. They tried to go into Yoppa, went onto Wonder as well, and they get the Dragon. It feels like G2 are the ones making plays everywhere. So we watch this back. He just runs at him, hits the axe, and kills him. As now Caps might be in trouble. TP.
Well played. Caps locked up. Slowq's still standing in the storm, and Labrov is on the way. And Slowq needs to be careful here. He's going to get egged, but he will not go down. Caps finally drops. Mickey debating if they can follow up. A nice little counter punch there to give SlowQ a bit of an edge in that 1v1 matchup, but it's a quick TP from Broken Blade just to ensure that SK can't get much else.
SK, they get the kill, but as you said, Rikos, we'll see if they can convert it into the Herald. Does G2 want to fight this 4v5? SK used the not Infinity Edge. I think once, especially like once Hansama gets 4 items, that's when this becomes a really nice Sivir game. The only thing is Hansama is pretty reliant on his front line to create space for him since he's up against so many long-range carries.
Oh
Caps is not on the tower.
SlowQ and Mickey holding hands through this entire game, and Caps cannot make it out of the Glacial Storm, so will finally fall. Now that Roa started stacking up and there's a bit more AP, a bit more levels for SlowQ, he's really starting to hurt.
And I mentioned that Caps could be the weak link here, that it's easy for him to get caught against the CC of SlowQ. He's now 0-3-0, died twice back-to-back, really costing G2, because otherwise they would have had a really big gold lead. Every other lane is winning and doing well.
It's like they predicted that we would need the content in the context of this game.
That's true. I feel like this is a classic, though. Like, G2 versus SK is kind of like, you don't know who's going to win up until like 35 minutes.
That's true. We've seen a lot of random SK upsets versus G2 over the years. I don't remember most of them, but I know it's happened at least once.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. It's now Schemes lurking, waiting in the darkness. Wonder versus Caps. Brothers fighting. Stand united up and available. Leeson getting pounded into the wall. Taunt blast coming in for LeBron. Wonder taken out. They were trying to bully Caps, but this time his boys were there. And there's no response for SK.
G2, they send the numbers to protect Caps. Can they transition it into anything more? That's the question. And it doesn't look like it. As both the support and jungle recall, Caps will be able to push one more wave to get a deep push. Broken Blade might have a mind of his own. Oh, there's the wall. Well, that's a good wall. That stopped him from the play.
Close the door on him. Schemes, the playmakers now for SK in this game state is Wonder sent them to the top side to try to hold the wave. 5 members of G2 on the bottom side of the map. Taunting through now is LeBron. A bit premature to kick things off. A nice wall to block off Hansama, but not quite perfect positioning. Ulti goes completely wide from Yappa, and now there's a raging Viking standing behind him. Gonna start ripping through his health bar. He just wanted to have a pool party, but it's absolutely not happening. Broken Blade, another wall to delay the push, but G2 with a nice quick fight to ensure their control over this Drake.
And Broken Blade, he came out of nowhere with a steel chair. Takes down Yoppa. Yoppa tries to flash away. He tries to get away, but there's nowhere to run against this Olaf as we watch it back. And it starts off with SK. They want to reclaim the territory. They want to get it back. And I think LeBron, he wanted more with this taunt, wanted to get up to Yoppa. He wasn't able to do so, but they don't have the damage to take him down. They eventually do so, but it takes so long that G2 is able to trade it with Skins, and then Broken Blade is here, and the fight's already decided.
Yeah, and you can see SlowQ and Wonder just had such a hard time contributing to that fight, and there is enough damage now for Caps' ulti to get those quick resets. Schemes not super tanky right now, working towards the Death Dance might help a bit, but we just went from 1,000, about 2,000 gold lead from a couple side lane players from G2 to 4,000 in their favor, and that's Drake's. Mickey trying to swing things back a little bit, at least punish LeBron, but NAVI, not the best follow-up champion in the extended play, however, it might be enough. One more staggering blow and another second here, waiting on that cooldown. Wonder on the way in. LeBron will finally fall.
A slow death for LeBron as he got walled, what, twice there and hooked 3 times.
I will say, when your support lives that long, I've asked, I confirm, production are on it. It's a slow game. They have time. They have the bandwidth, the resources. Wonder gonna have to flash over this wall. Nice angle coming in from Skewmon. Broken Blade might have an axe to kick this one off, but he does have an ulti. The chase now coming in. Mickey, a dead man walking, quick ulti flash to try to make it over the wall, distracting Hansama as he cues out. Spider Knot, praying for a brand new day. There's not gonna happen though. He's about to die. G2 keeping the fight going. Good ulti across the top, but again, only connecting on LeBron. In goes Skis, his body, telling him yes, his mind, telling him yes, but now he's gonna be saying hell no, because it's Caps on the flank. 0-3-0, but still getting in there to make the play happen. Now all the way up to 3-3-1 as SK falling apart.
And SK, they got away. I don't think they'll lose the Nash just yet, but G2 are in firm control of this game. So they're able to take down 2. Maybe they will go for the Nash after all. SlowQ doesn't have TP. Yoppa has his, but this Nash actually goes down pretty damn fast. And it's a Nasher for G2.
There, because I don't know if you noticed, but that was
kind of highlighted 3 items.
Well, Kanik Rookern is the one I'm talking about right now. I don't know if you noticed, but magic resistance when Mickey lands that hook and Yappa and SlowQ do literally 0 damage. Great. Now, presumably this blasting wand is going to turn into some kind of greater magic penetration, but until then, Skewmon is pretty unkillable. So it's tough for SK. They can clear the waves, they can kill the minions, but killing G2's front line is tough. Luckily, G2's front line is not here. Broken Blade going to try to 1v5. Hansama pushed hard. It might not be enough though. Broken Blade still living. Gets burnt to a crisp by the Ignite. And Skeens is going right back in. The front line has finally arrived, but it might be too little too late. Now, that said, Skewmon is officially unkillable. Let's see how long it takes. 10 seconds, 20 seconds. The 80 damage is here. Will it be enough? Yes, it will be. Skewmon will finally fall. Physical damage there for the side of SK to finish up that kill.
And it's a pretty big throw from G2 as SK should be able to pick up this dragon now as well and set themselves on soul point. Although Hansama and Lebrov want to look for the cheese. Skeens face checks.
Quick taunt, hop back to Mickey. Getting low, does have access to the GA. Hansama could be in trouble. Nice hook to interrupt, but a GA proc, that's devastating. Lebrov now looking for the angle and the setup. Yappa on the way and flashback from Skeens. Sonic Wave connects. Resonating strike ready to come through. Good hook from Mickey. Down goes Lebrov, and now it's Hansama. Trapped in the pit. A 1v1 with the dragon. Ziggs ulti across the top, burning his spell shield. Now Hansama's forced to flash away as Caps continues to poke. Mickey's still going forward. No one is here to back him up. It's a one-way trip, but he's happy to take someone with him as SK continue to set their sights on the Cloud Drake. G2 might have gotten that in him in the top lane, but they lost a ton in the process.
It's a huge play for SK. It's 4-for-1, and they get the dragon, setting themselves up for soul point, evaporating so much of the gold lead that G2 had built up with this Nash. It's now 3,000 gold in 30 minutes. Pretty much nothing. It's an equal game, and SK have brought it back. The only thing, they can have just Hansama and Skewmon doing it.
Yep, and this is what we talked about before with the top inhibitor play, right? The overall play looked messy, unnecessary risks, I think, taken from G2, a good flank from Mickey. But the reality is, in the grand scheme of things, because that inhibitor's down to this permanent top lane pressure point, they're just now catching that bottom wave. And G2 would at least get to start this objective for free, as SK trying to find a way to get in here, but don't have great vision coverage. Maybe just hoping for the 50-50, but now Skewmon coming over the wall, locking up slow Q. A nice W from Caps to split the fight in the meantime, as double TPs are now coming in. Arriving in the fight is Broken Blade, but at low health, his Skeens isn't quite sure if he wants that play. Ulti from Yopa, not great, only hitting the edge onto Caps, and both sides walking away a bit bruised, but only Mickey has fallen.
Wow, that actually ended up being a 1-for-0 for G2. Broken Blade, I think he TP'd before Wonder, and that's why he was so chunked, I would presume, as Wonder got to do a lot of damage on him.
Hook, from Mickey is going a bit wide as Slowq tries to land some poke of his own. Broken Blade kicking things off, eating a ton of damage before the fight kicks off. They're going to try to burst through that health bar. Ulti across the entire team. Again, not hitting onto key members of G2, however. Mickey's ulti, the depth charge, connects on the Caps with the fall damage in there. Now Wonder's just going to burn to death. The Knight's Vow comes in, but it's just too little. It's not nearly enough as G2 walk down Wonder, and SK looking a little bit dizzy in these fights.
But how did G2 do it? They're magicians. This fight looked so bad in the beginning. Broken Blade was just going in and dying, yet the fight somehow turns again into a 1-for-0 for them as Mickey hooks in.
He hooks in and maybe sent just right back to the fountain. Skewmon debating if he wants to keep dashing forward. Taunt Flash comes in for Lebrov. Flash back from Slowq was good, but it's Skeens who's gotten the maws of G2. A GA procced. Gonna come right back to life just to die once again. Hansama taking down Skeens. Not the explosive 5v5 we were expecting, but a very G2 favored one as they pretty effortlessly cut through all of SK.
G2 just make magic happen back to back as they find the fight that they were looking for, and now they're gonna pick up another Nasher. And already with an open inhibitor in top, they can look to get triple inhibitor and secure themselves positions for Soul and make this game their own.
You know what I think, Jay? I think Jankos might owe Perkz an apology.
Yeah,
I think the glasses in the game are both going pretty well in his favor.
The draft is pretty nice. I think like Olaf, Sivir, the synergy they have there, and the fact that Skewmon can just go in. I feel like how this fight plays out, it speaks very much in favor of G2's draft. That even when they don't get the perfect engage, they have the damage of Caps of Hansama to just play it out. But then after this, I think this is just a mistake from SK where they're like Mickey wants to look for something to make sure that they can't get the Nash, but he can't hook in on Sivir. She has Spell Shield, right? And Hansama's always going to Spell Shield that. And there was no CC to follow it up, so then G2 can just run them down afterwards. Slowq had to invest his flash as well to get away from the Impale, so that's something he doesn't have now going into this Nash defense.
Yeah, and one of the big things we talked about was the poke of this SK comp. Full build Sivir.
Hansama TP towards top side here. I think he wants to go for the red buff. I thought they would just siege bot lane and open up the third inhibitor, but they want to kill
Slowq. The bird. Cap chasing, and if they kill Slowq, they probably just end the game here. There's nowhere for him to go. Gets egged, now will die as well. Salty coming up and not dealing nearly enough damage as SK are being zoned away from their own fountain. Minion empowered melee creeps and caster is going to be enough here for G2 to break open the base of SK. Wonder going for the 1v1 with Broken Blade. LeBron interrupts, but I don't think he would have won it anyway. Skeens desperately trying to hold the line, but despite their best efforts, SK picked apart in the mid and late game. G2 outscaling and outplaying in this game one.
And it was a nice attempt by SK. They held on for 40 minutes. But in the end, G2 with 2 Baron Nashers able to close it out. So they just had better team fighting, especially Broken Blade on that Olaf made a big difference with how strong he was in the early game and in the side lane.
That he did. Enough from us up here. Let's see what the AD has to say about that long game of League of Legends.
I think SK gave us a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
Honestly, given how things started. Yeah.
Like,
I'm impressed for them.
yeah, like
Was that enough?
we were
But still.
kind of saying backstage, like if this was SK last split, this would have been over by 15 minutes, packed
Yeah.
up, like we're already deciding, you know, what we're doing for dinner plans.
Usually I'm not excited about the team losing, but SK, they're buying me. I feel like we haven't seen this for them in a long time. Usually they would just roll over and die. They would just make it quick. Let's just, you know, rip open the band-aid and end the pain. But now I feel like they actually put up a decent fight. 40 minutes against G2, not easy.
They did. Well, that was not enough in the end. And I do want to paint the picture of what you said, Odo, before the game even started. Hello, Olaf might go ballistic, so let's lock in. And he did.
Okay. Now, that was after he got 1 kill.
Okay, fair enough.
I wasn't that good at my job, but to be honest, it makes sense. We already saw the Shen at the beginning. BB, I think he's 7-2 overall on this champion. It was great. Honestly, Wonder, they were really out to get in this game because from minute 3, Skewmont was just there every single time. If there was one person to shut down, it was just Jace because the Jace in the Olaf matchup is Jace's favor. But BB made such good use of all of those resources.
I mean, even the position that he found on the map to try and like get in behind the Jays to make sure that Wonder couldn't get comfortable, and then just being a terror in these fights because so much of this fight was coming down to his, like, you know, we heard Jack and Draco talk about in the cast was that wall positioning that was coming through from the NAVI, but Broken Blade playing well around that positioning, finding those good flash angles, just absolutely tearing people apart. It really defined that kind of early to mid game that was making it difficult for SK.
I'm sorry, but I cannot
The
take
face
it
is
seriously.
matching. No, but like the craziness of BB's face is matching the champion. I love it.
Becoming evil. I don't know which one it is.
Hey, I'm in for the transformation. You know, he has been wholesome and PR trained for way too long. I'm embracing evil BB.
He's a menace, and he was on this champion. And I do want to. I mean, you constantly had an Olaf in your face, but I feel like whatever happened, G2 were like holding a line, making it impossible for SK to play on either side of the map. It was really hard for them to play, even though they had a pretty good composition. So how did G2 get in this situation?
Okay, well, let's bring it up over here so we can talk about it. We got a bunch of stills because SK's team comp is do or die by being there first. Well, if you look in this position, G2 is there first. And with this sort of team comp that they just want to dive all the time,